Всем привет, ребята, продолжаем играть в Noire. Задание Помада, Цвета, Крови. Пожизненная, сука.
All right, gentlemen, take your seats. Let's get this over before lunch. Clyde Rose at the homicide squad has decided to take early retirement. We will all miss Floyd and the steely edge he brought to his police work. The department has arranged a wee drink at the Galway Arms to quench the mighty thirst a man gets from 25 years of police work. Floyd's departure leaves a place at the top table, and the chief has seen fit to promote Cole Phelps from burglary to the homicide desk. Stand up, Phelps. Take a chair. You're in the major leagues now, Sonny. Rusty Galloway, a fine lawman of the old school, will be taking you under his wing. Your first case is the murder of a woman, found last night and bearing all the signs of the werewolf. Get out to the scene, lads.
Оборотня.
You're the reason brothers and sisters sit now.
I want to make homicide.
Do you have the address?
Been all over KGPL. It's off Temple Street, between Belmont and Glendale.
Someone else
Так, давайте отправляемся по новой машине.
Hey, stay for it.
Далеко.
What happened to Rose?
Parker wants the chief's job. Word is it's either going to be him or Thad Green. Or they're both clearing the decks.
So where does that leave you, Galloway?
Leaves me saddled with a chump like you, Phelps. I didn't ask for you, and I don't want you, so keep it to yourself. See if you can learn something about seeing how a real cop operates.
What did he mean by the werewolf?
The galleon. The Daily News came out calling him the werewolf. The Examiner came up with the black dahlia.
Are we any closer to catching him?
Not a chance. 6 months and hundreds of guys running down leads, we got nothing.
You don't think this has anything to do with
No, I don't. 90% of murders are domestic, fellas. Some guy gets into a beef with his wife, he takes it too far. It'll be the same. But cutting someone in half and leaving them off the sidewalk, that's a one-off.
Why so many women this year?
Because of the war. You should know that. Guy gets to kill people every day in combat. Comes home, he's expected to take a lick from his wife. What do you think's gonna happen?
It's that simple.
Like I said, most of the time it is.
Crime scene is just understood door detective.
How about a scoop for the Examiner, Galloway? You could use some good press.
Another tramp, another message. Is the werewolf back in business, boys?
Do you have a mother, asshole? A sister? How about showing some respect for this poor woman? Let us do our job, and Detective Galloway will give you a statement later.
He's good, Rusty. He even sounds genuine.
That's Phelps, guys. The war hero. Defending the honor of murdered humps.
Get used to it, Phelps. Moving along, guys. You got your pictures, you got your headlines. Now scram.
посмотреть, просто вдруг он что-то сюда выкинул. Что
Patrolman, this your beat?
Yes, sir. Well, part of it. Kids park here, they use it like a lover's lane. It's a working neighborhood. Some trouble, but nothing like this. It's known locally as the Moors.
You were first on the scene?
Yes, detective.
No one's disturbed the body?
No, sir. We cleared out them vulture reporters so Pinker and the coroner could work. They're waiting to talk to you.
Go house to house and see what you come up with.
Так, вообще я хотел пройтись. Здесь вот. Опа-на, что это такое?
Nope.
Я не подхожу. Ну что-то нож нашел, они такие, не подходят.
Looks like some kind of puzzle or parlor game.
Ну вот железо.
The Mamba Club. Why steal a table lighter?
Что это нашел просто? Опа-на, музыка.
Optimistic call.
Давай сумочку осмотрим.
The victim's bag? Looks brand new. Can't be the one used on the body.
Ну, думаю, расческа ничего не сделает нам. Давайте посмотрим. Я просто расческа жир. Итак, пройдись по кустам. Я просто напрягаюсь, что так много кустов. Пусто. А это ножик. Вот. Он
Don't
чист.
think this is anything. What can you tell me about the shoe prints?
Men's size 8s. Pinker lifted impressions for me to compare back at the lab.
Ну вот же. Жертву как бы тащили, получается.
Cause of death?
Could be the head injuries. She has been badly stomped. The cuts
What caused the blunt force injury to the face?
could be anything from a baseball bat to a lug wrench. I'll have more details after the autopsy.
Иди к черту. Чё? Текст.
Interesting.
Чё с руками?
What about this wound on the finger?
Something removed, a ring most likely. I assume it was taken post-mortem.
Они потоптались, кстати, видите, вот. Вот здесь вот Фелпс, не, вот он. Ну вот она, короче, ботинок.
What does the writing on the victim mean?
BD, like Dahlia, Tex. Your guess is as good as mine. Could be something to it, or it could be the killer's trying to throw you off the scent. Either way, I'll run tests on the lipstick.
Any idea of the time of death?
From the temperature, I'd say after midnight. I'll confirm with you later.
When we get to the Bomba, a man could die of thirst in a case like this.
Что-то улик мало. Опа, что-то здесь есть еще.
It would take a smarter man than me to connect that. Not everything here is going to be relevant.
Все равно улик мало. Мне кажется, может, тут не нашли. Ну ладно. Надеюсь, если даже мы что-то не нашли, но это будет не сильно важно для дела. Напарник завернем.
You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Fine. Where are we headed?
The werewolf?
For my money, a copycat.
We can't rule it out. We need to work the evidence.
Didn't love that wig. Big head to hang on your wall. Caller of the decade. Been working evidence on BD case for 6 months and got next.
There's a difference, Rusty.
Oh, yeah?
I just started working it today.
Okay, oddshot. What's more likely? Werewolf comes back around, leaving us in court?
He clearly has a thing for power. Power over women. Why not power over the police department as well?
Finish it. Guy opens his mouth again. Some opportunist who's been reading about the computer, so rip off the ammo and get himself a freebie.
That's not totally fantastical.
You know, the Examiner and the Daily News might be good at coming up with models, but they're terrible for police work. There's a reason we didn't get the son of a bitch after the short murder was them, locusts.
Where do you think the werewolf killer is now?
Dead by his own hand, stationed somewhere else with the armed forces. San Quentin, another town, another country, who knows? So, Phillips, I understand you want to turn this into a big case, but it doesn't work like that, all right? A case will come and find you. Can't make it something it ain't, understand?
So you don't think the werewolf has continued to operate in the Los Angeles area?
No chance. We'll found him.
Из него водитель просто отменный.
Where's that goddamn place?
Gentlemen, what can I get you?
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. Were you working here last night?
Yes. How can I help, officer?
You can start with your name.
Garrett Mason.
You're the regular bartender on nights?
I'm a temporary barman. I work for an agency. I fill in at bars across town.
Do you remember a woman who came in here last night? 5'7", about 110 pounds, blonde hair, about 40 years of age.
You mean Celine Henry?
Yes. Do you know anything about her?
I don't. But the owner, Mr. McCall, serves her most nights. Would you like to speak to him?
I would.
He sits at the back of the club. Wears a hibiscus. You can't miss him. Is there anything else?
Fire away, Phelps. I'll stay here. I'm a little parched.
Ну,
Pour me 3 fingers of rye.
ну, конечно, очень полезно. Петлица.
He drove me
Ясно.
up to Mulholland and we did some.
Detective Phelps, LAPD. We're investigating the murder of Celine Henry. Do you know her?
Celine? Oh, Christ. You going to pay
Sure,
for
I
that?
know her. She and I and Jacob, her husband, we go way back.
She was here last night?
Officer.
Sure, she's a regular. Celine is,
Pour me another.
was a lovely woman.
Так что да, у него, ребят. Ну, если я...
Was Mrs. Henry here with anyone last night?
Not at first. Celine already had quite a head start.
But she attracted attention?
Certainly. A few gentlemen became very enamored with her and her stories. One guy in particular.
You know him?
No. He's been in a couple of times.
Did they leave together?
Yes. At around 11. If it helps, I made the guy's license plate.
Say, honey, what time do you get off waiting table?
I think this could be a great help, sir. Thank you.
Ну, чувачка, да, неплохо.
Mrs. Henry appeared to be missing a ring, torn from her finger, but not her wedding finger.
Celine always wore a red garnet ring on the large side. Larger than life, like Celine herself.
Did she have it a long time?
Sure. Since way back in her flying days.
Did her husband buy it for her?
No, it was before Jacob.
Что-то он не договаривает.
I think you know where the ring came from, and I think you're gonna tell me.
Okay. I bought it years ago. I carried a torch for Celine in those days. Yes, I always have. Her old man never knew about it.
Знаешь, что мужа?
You know the husband?
Sure, I know Jacob. He was in the Corps. He met Celine on a furlough and married her when the war was finished. Put up with a load of shit.
Do you think he killed his wife?
No. No, not in my opinion.
Что-то так он тяжело сглотнул, смотрел в сторону.
So if it wasn't Jacob, then you probably let her out of here with the guy who killed her. How do you feel about that?
Stow the attitude, will ya? I tried to get onto Jacob. I rang him up. Asked him to come pick her up, like usual. But he refused. She picked some night to push him over the edge. I rang him back around 11:30, but got no answer.
Thanks, Mr. McCall. You've been a big help. One more thing. Would you have an address for Celine?
142 North Union Avenue. God knows I had to send her home in enough cabs to remember that.
Hey, honey, what time do you get off waiting table?
Так, надо по телефону позвонить, узнать номер. Кто владелец данного аппарата?
Let's get out of here.
Hey, what's the hurry? My school was
Что
just
ты здесь
starting to warm up
устанавливаешь?
nicely.
Вообще никак к делу не относится. Телефон можно, девушка?
I started my shift 20 minutes ago. You're better off talking to the bartender.
Я просто не хочу отправляться. Можно говорить? Хочу знать, кто ее увез ее на машине. Иметь более лучшую информацию, меня полезную.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How can I help, Detective?
I need a registered owner on a license plate, 2boy8899.
Yes, Detective. I'll need to contact the DMV. Shall I relay the details via KGPL?
Please. Thanks for your help.
То есть она сразу не даст. Блин. Так, куда мы сейчас можем? Потом себе кидаем. Началось паудика там. Зажигалка, помада, ботинки, послание на теле, травма, пропавший разница, номерной знак, алиби не просто. Да, ладно. Так, перебегаем просто на новую.
You know the way. You can drive.
And where exactly are we going?
You find the booze helps you get through a working day?
Sharpens my investigatory instincts, fellas.
A smart lawyer might use that to throw out anything you collect today.
A smart man might know it's unwise to stand between the patient and his medicine.
As long as you're not falling over, Rusty, I'll let it slide.
That's mighty kind of you, fellas. No, you picked the wrong job with a healthy thirst offends you.
We owe it to this city to do the best we can in this position. As homicide detectives, that responsibility is all the more serious.
Always the politician.
It's not political, it's practical. Maybe the men combing Hollywood Boulevard after the Elizabeth Short murder were more interested in sniffing out booze than the clues that would have led to her killing.
Yeah, well, if only you'd been there, choir boy. Betty Short would be alive, the Japs would have spared Pearl Harbor, our ancestors wouldn't have tasted the forbidden fruit.
Minor syntactical error, Detective Galloway. I never claimed to be able to prevent crimes. I only suggested a proficiency in solving them. Guess that's the drink slowing you down.
Oh my God, brother, oh brother. Worse than I could ever have imagined.
Давайте посмотрим, что там в доме есть. В доме семьи Генри.
I'll try the back door. Wait here a second. Side window's been jimmied. Looks like somebody's creeped the joint.
И почистил улики. Ясно. Очки. Ну, обычный пилот или сварочные очки.
Circumstantial.
Не знаю. Какой-то здесь релс.
Tiffany. The rest of this stuff is junk. Might explain the missing ring. A regular Amelia Earhart per day. The ring
Какое-то
looks
колечко.
distinctive.
Изучить нельзя. Это к делу не относится.
No good to me.
Так, давайте еще посмотрим, что в спальне есть. Здесь как-то узковато слегка. Ботинки какого размера? Вот что меня волнует. Сказал, что меня волнует, какого ботинки размера. Какого, черт бери, размера эти ботинки? Не хочет мне говорить. Что здесь ты нашел? Фелпс. Что это, фен? Да, это фен. Вот. Так, здесь ничего. Здесь не выйти. Там газета. Семья сгорела заживо. Полиция не исключает вероятность поджога.
You said I had to go back, Doctor.
The fires are cathartic. They allow you to confront your past.
You said the house would be empty.
Are you taking the medication I have prescribed?
You said the house would be empty. I heard them screaming.
Circumstances were unfortunate. My colleagues had made all the necessary
You
arrangements.
said the house would be empty. You're killing me.
The deaths were unfortunate, but you have dealt with death before.
I want you to come to the clinic and we can deal. You said the house would be empty. How can I find peace?
Ну да уж. 5 из 13 газет на день. Обычный женский промок. Подожди. Он предложил мне повзаимодействовать. Может, что-то найдем?
Size 9s. Above average for a lady.
Бесполезно. Обычно коньяк растет в каждом доме.
Burglar used the pry bar. Why did you kick the door in?
You think I'm gonna climb through a broken window in a $30 suit? You got another thing coming, Buster.
Что за записка?
Celine and Jacob are obviously having problems. It speaks to motive.
Crime scene evidence still weighs against it being the husband, but Jacob could give us something to go on. When my exes drank like this, you'd be feeling the back of my hand.
Call in burglary and get technical services out here. I'll talk to the neighbors.
Don't take all day about it, Phelps. I get nasty when I'm thirsty.
Хорошо, просить соседей. Пошли. О. Добрый день, девушка. Сказал добрый день, девушка. Я еще раз сказал добрый день, девушка.
LAPD. Are you acquainted with Celine Henry, Miss?
Horgan. Jennifer Horgan. I've known Celine for more than 10 years. Our children grew up together. What's going on, officer?
Did you see Mrs. Henry go out last night?
Well, I'm no busybody, you understand, but Celine had been drinking. And she and poor, long-suffering Jacob had a terrible row. I think Jacob may have given her a black eye. He stormed out and she went back inside.
Did he come back?
No. Celine was listening to music and shouting until she left around 10 p.m. She was very drunk to have been driving. But she is not the sort of person you can stop from doing something when her dander is up. What is this about, officer? Is Celine all right?
I'm afraid Mrs. Henry has been murdered, ma'am.
Murdered? Oh, my God. I'm afraid I need to go and sit down.
Вы со мной поговорите?
Just give me some time to myself, please.
Ясно. Че, есть другие соседи?
Let me guess. Hiding from the wife? Isn't he the cop they've been talking about on the radio? Want another commendation?
Никого нет. Ну ладно, поедем туда. Мне нравится, как Пелс ходит через эти штучки.
Let's see what Jacob has to say for himself.
I don't think Jacob is our man, but we should see what he has to say.
Я за рулем.
Want the 5-star goddamn wedding.
Jacob Henry had a violent argument with his wife last night. It's looking more and more likely.
My money, Rod keep the house looking like that, so it's probably deserved it. Skipper says bring him in. Keep the hacks off their back.
Fine by me.
So it ain't the werewolf killer after all. Good to see you come to your senses today.
I always said work the evidence. I only stipulated a connection to the BD killer as an avenue of investigation we should leave open. And as far as I'm concerned, it still is.
This officer needs help. Bank of America 7th and Olive. Officer needs help. Bank of America 7th and Olive. 211 in progress. At Shots fired. Unit to handle code 3 identified.
блин, как далеко. Ох. Слишком далеко. Давайте изучим карту, как там. Место убийства, дом семьи Генри, то есть клуб Бамба. Она поехала в клуб Бамба, там еще сильнее напилась, а оттуда вернулась. По пути домой как раз рядом с домом, место преступления. И рядом с домом ее убили. Получается, этот кто-то хотел ее довести до дома, но почему-то не дает. Я вообще полный.
Okay, Phelps, we go in hard. Follow my lead.
Seems like a nice
Давай.
boy. You know, there's hoodlums in jail.
Вот в этой квартире он живет. Аж всё прозрачно.
You Jacob Henry?
Yeah. Who's asking?
LAPD. You're under arrest for the murder of your wife, Celine Henry.
Murder? Celine?
Save the dramatics
Oh, my
for
God.
RKO, pal. You got bigger problems.
What the hell are you talking about? You come in here, you tell me that Celine is...
Take a seat, Mr. Henry.
she's-
We're gonna have a look around, then we'll talk.
Jesus, I'm sorry.
Так, давайте начнем осмотр.
I get even the slightest
Окна.
danger of flight risk, pal.
Опа-на.
You
Текст.
think the atmosphere's different here? Wait till you try the reaction.
Thanks for the offer. I need you to do something about my wife.
He'll be back any moment. Just sit
Спасибо за
The oldest
предложение.
problem there is
Забудьте о моей
what to do
жене.
about the old lady.
Опа-на. А это улика уже. Это уже очень серьезная улика. Бита. Не могли нанести удар по голове.
This doesn't pertain to the case.
Да почему? Ботинки размер.
Size 11s.
45. Не сходится. Но он может быть заказчиком. Не то. Так, я сейчас мышку чуть-чуть поправливаться. А здесь что? Закрыто. Мусор ничего. Ну ладно, давайте начнем допрос.
So who could have killed Celine? Where did she go last night, Jacob?
A bar, I suppose. Look, I don't know.
Ну, я не знаю. Подождите. Тихо. Тихо. Ложь.
You know where she went, Jacob. You're lying. Why would I help you if you keep lying to me?
Look, I'm telling you, I don't know.
Но зажигалку же она не была при себе.
We know she went to the Bomba Club.
Или это не её зажигалка?
The bartender there. He calls me if things are getting out of hand, and I go and I bring her home. He called me last night. I said no. Phone rang a couple more times after that. I ignored it. I'm gonna have to live with that.
When did you last see your wife, Mr. Henry?
Last night. I went to see her. We talked. Things got a little out of hand. I left.
Но здесь, мне кажется, искренне.
You don't remember what time you last saw your wife alive?
Look, sorry. I left. Maybe 9 p.m. Might have been a little later, but right around 9.
Мотив убийства.
Why did you kill her, Jacob? Things will go better if you come clean about it.
That's a lousy thing to say. I never gave up on my wife.
Это ложь.
I don't believe you, Jacob. I think you didn't have the guts to do it yourself, so you had someone else do it.
You want to back that up with something, Big Mouth? Huh?
Есть. Вот он.
The note by the phone suggests you meant her harm.
You want the truth? Truth is, I was sick to death of her. I was trying to have her committed.
We're still gonna need you to come downtown, Mr. Henry.
We can get this all down on paper, Jacob. How you got fed up with your wife and how you figured killing her would bury all your troubles.
Kill my own wife?
She was a lush and a tramp, and you just couldn't stand it anymore.
Shut your goddamn mouth.
So now you're gonna tell me you loved her? Ah, the DA goes all gooey over remorse, Jacob.
This doesn't look good.
Я же не помню, как драться. Как драться в этой игре? Почему он не бьет? А, надо
Not
зафокуситься.
being rational.
Пусть у нас сольет, я хочу переиграть, чтобы моя шляпа не слетела. Ребята, я сделал это. Господи, как это было сложно.
Call it in and get a squad car dispatched. And check for messages. I'll keep old Slugger here company.
Самообладание. О, да, я получил эту ачивку.
Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need a patrol unit to transport a suspect back to Central.
Certainly, Detective. You have a message from the coroner. Do you wish to be put through?
Yes, ma'am.
Carruthers,
It's Phelps.
I've completed the autopsy. Several wounds to the head from a blunt metal instrument. Closest match would be a socket wrench handle.
So the cause of death was the blunt.
No, the blows to the head surprisingly were not fatal. Death was from hemorrhage and shock from the fractured ribs and multiple injuries caused by the stomping.
Anything else?
He's some kind of sex fiend. The tissues of the anus were bruised about 1/8 of an inch, but no trace of semen in the anus, vagina, or stomach.
Thanks, Doc. Operator, give me R&I. Any word on an owner for that vehicle? License was 2boy8899.
Yes, Detective. The plate belongs to a brown 1936 Pontiac. Registered owner is one Alonzo Mendez of 402 South Fremont Street, apartment 16.
Thanks. Any other messages?
One, Detective. From Captain Donnelly. He wants any and all suspects returned to Central. Interviews to be set up immediately.
Got it. We're coming in.
он приказал допросить их, но
Can you
это
drive to this
гораздо важнее будет, чем Мендес. Тем более у нас вроде бы есть убийца. Хотя он не настоящий, мне кажется.
Brother said she took a real pounding.
Maybe if he had been a little firmer in the beginning, he wouldn't be in this situation now.
I imagine that Neanderthal routine is a big hit with the ladies, Galloway.
Women love me, Phelps. I have no complexity. They know exactly what they're gonna get.
Ну что ж, давайте допросим его. Посмотрим, что он скажет.
We have a firm lead, Captain.
Are you questioning my judgment call, Phelps?
No, sir.
Good. I thought not. Jacob Henry is a sub-sister pushed around by his wife. I think with the right kind of persuasion, he might be prepared to seek absolution. Are you prepared to show him the error of his ways, young Phelps?
I don't think he's our man. Galloway agrees with me.
Don't drag me into this.
Rusty is a practical policeman. A bird in hand is always worth two in the bush. Let's liberate a confession from poor Jacob, and the public will sleep easy tonight. Run along now, folks. I've warmed them up nicely for you.
I'm telling you, it'll never stick,
Давайте с
and
ним
you'll get
побеседуем.
Doesn't look good, Jacob. You're in a big jam here. You lie to me, and I can't help you out. Do you understand me?
Yes.
What do you do for work, Jacob?
I'm a mechanic. Engines, differentials, transmissions, that kind of stuff.
So you have access to tools?
Yes, I do.
Your wife was brutally beaten with a socket wrench handle, then stomped to death. How do you think that looks, Jacob?
I was home in bed.
Ну, у тебя есть доступ.
You're full of shit, Jacob. The truth is you hated that bitch. You followed her and dragged her into the car and then took her out to the moors. She woke up and you smashed her face in with a socket wrench.
No. No, 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 no.
And then you stomped her. You stomped her because she's a drunken whore and she treated you like shit. You stomped her for all the years you had to take it. You stomped her because you are such a weak fucking sister, Jacob, and you wanted to erase all memory of it. Go on. Try to deny it.
I was at home. I should have gone to her at the bar, but I didn't. You can't prove I wasn't home.
Но это очень сильно дает ему оправдание.
Ken, the bar owner, McCall, gave you up. He called your house right at the time that someone was smashing Celine's skull in and got no answer. If we find that socket wrench, you're gonna fry. Get it off your chest. Tell me you killed her.
I killed her, all right. I killed her dreams. She was an aviator, famous in her day, flying around up there like a bird. But she never wanted to come back down. You know, my pop was a sod farmer, dirt poor. I joined the Corps, trained to be a mechanic. I did better than my father did. I worked hard for it. It's all you can ask of a man. But Celine, she never wanted to come down from the clouds. She wanted everything I couldn't give her. All I had was security. That was never going to be enough.
Правильно даже.
You did it. Everything points to you. What does Tex mean, Jacob?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I have no reason to believe you, Jacob.
You want a confession? That's what you want?
That's exactly what we want.
Seems to me there are two types of marriages. First, where the couple love each other equally and everything's roses. and then there's the other. Where one person loves the other more than life itself and always puts them first. Chumps like me. Who love them no matter what, no matter how badly they behave. That's it. That's my confession. I love my wife. And I'll take any test you got to prove it.
Your marriage was over. You took her in and she threw it back in your face. You didn't go over there to hurt her. It just got out of hand.
It's not how it was.
You're lying, Jacob. It was falling apart and things got violent.
I'm not lying. I'm telling you how it was.
Вот.
Jenny Horgan says you blackened her eye.
It's all right, Jacob. The DA will understand. In your shoes, I would have done exactly the same thing.
I hit her, all right? I'm not proud of it, but she was coming at me with a frying pan. What would you do? Took it for years, but sometimes a man can only take so much.
Why did you break into your wife's house, Jacob? Why steal the ring?
What? What are you talking about? I've got a key. Why would I need to break in?
Вот здесь я с ним полностью согласен.
She took the ring because you found out who gave it to her.
What are you talking about?
Her prized garnet ring, given to her by her old boyfriend, Dick McCall.
I never knew that. I lived with that woman for 3 years, and I never knew that. Well, in that case, I think you should be talking to Dick McCall.
We'll do the detective work, lunkhead. Just answer the questions.
I'll see what I can do for you, Jacob. But I'm not promising. It still looks bad for you.
Phelps, you failed me, son.
We have another lead, Captain. This guy Mendez could be our man.
I hope so, Phelps. I really hope so. I'm deeply disturbed by your style of police work.
Он съест меня. Если не засажу того парня, он меня съест. Я вот говорю. Что за костюм чужак? Снайпер и чужак.
Face was thrown out. Now the DA wants my head.
Так. Поехали.
I got the jitters again.
You're behind the wheel.
Квартира Мендеса. А если бы мы поехали туда сразу, капитан бы меня уволил или дал бы мне шанс поговорить?
Alonzo Mendez. Sound like a man who moonlights as the werewolf?
Don't sound like a man I'd let my daughter anywhere near.
You've got a daughter.
Spend enough time drinking, Cole, you'll find yourself any number of
So that's why you never sober up.
Exactly.
Почтовые ящики. Вот это хорошая идея. Так, 16-я квартира. Домик-то вроде хороший. 4-й этаж.
Here, the apartment's up on the top floor.
Ну, последний получается. 10-я. 14-я.
Don't bother knocking, just kick the door in. Take a look around and see what you can find.
Так. Что ты там нашел? Ключ. Вот это ключ.
This is going to help us.
Плохо, наверное, смотрят, да? Бесполезно. Яйца бесполезно. Твою мать. Ну вон же. Фелпс. Что самая помада получается? Ну да, пока ключи смотрим.
Consistent with Celine's injuries, and the blood can be typed.
Вот, все.
Brothers could match the color and brand of the body.
We have the murder weapon. We better get Pinker down here.
Why keep it? Why not throw it away?
Think these clowns are geniuses? Thank your stars you caught a break. Captain Don will begin to like you.
Hey, what gives? LAPD, you're under arrest.
Do not lose that son of a bitch. I'll go get our wheels.
Mendez, stop right there.
Давно мы по крышам не бегали. Могу спрыгнуть. Делай.
You don't need to do this, Alonzo.
Get in and drive.
Ты издеваешься? Я мог бы...
You're under arrest for the murder of Celine Henry. Nice of...
I ain't saying a goddamn thing.
Там вроде убийство. Где коня размер ноги?
You did a grand job, lads. Phelps, that's quite a way to acquit yourself in your first outing as a homicide investigator. It seems the city has a new and vengeful guardian. Considering the evidence against your suspect and the thoroughness with which a report was compiled, I foresee a safe passage through the courts, and the DA agrees with me. Brutality on a scale such as this deserves retribution. The people and the press of this city demand
it. Что поделал? 18-19 Урик. Джейкоб Генри скорбит, а Мендес в камере ждет визита прокурора. Блестящие 5 звезд. Всем спасибо за просмотр, всем пока.